Hey guys, it's Mrs. Vaughn here. We are back to talk about the volume of cones. This relates to lessons 3.04 and 3.05 in your online school. We're going to be talking about cones. So on the screen, you will see right here that I have the shape of a cone. So this cone right here and this cylinder, they have the same exact size base. Okay, they have the exact same size base, exact same size height. What I want you to do is pause for a moment, and I want you to tell me how many times you think it would take this cone to fill this cylinder. So if I filled this cone with water, popcorn, Skittles, what have you, how many times would I have to pour something into this cylinder for it to be full from this cone? So go ahead and pause, and then we're going to test our hypothesis. Go ahead and compare these two, cylinder versus cone, by watching this video. Prediction do? From that video, we just learned that it actually takes 3 cones to fill up one cylinder. So 3 cones to fill up that one cylinder. Awesome job, guys. So that is where we get this formula for a cone 4. So when we're talking about the volume for a cylinder, we just learned that that was pi r squared h. Okay, this is for a cylinder. But if a cone is 1/3 of a cylinder, The volume formula then is 1/3 pi r squared h. So that's what we're going to be using today in our example problems. That this volume is very similar to a cylinder, yet I'm just looking at 1/3 of it. So let's go ahead and practice. It says find the volume of a cone with a radius of 9 and a height of 3. So let's go ahead and look at our formula, 1/3 pi r squared h. And we're going to do the same thing we did with cylinders. We are going to plug in our radius, which is 9, and our height, which is 3. And we're going to start solving. 9 squared is 81 times 3. So make sure you have that handy dandy calculator out. We are going to need it again today. So 81 times 3, 243. However, we are looking at 1/3 of that. So we're going to have to multiply that by 1/3. And that gives us our 81 pi for our volume. So the exact volume is 81 pi. The approximate volume, if you multiply 81 times pi, is 254.47 inches cubed. Right? So just to backtrack, we follow that same process we did with cylinders, multiplying our radius squared times our height, but at the very end, we're taking 1/3 of it. So we're going to do 243 times 1/3. That is where I'm getting that 81 from, right? Just wanted to clarify that. All right, your turn. Go ahead and pause the video and find this volume of the cone. Paused and we're able to find the volume of this cone. So our volume formula, 1/3 pi r squared h. We are going to plug in our radius of 15. We're going to multiply that by 4. So now we're looking at 1/3 pi r squared. So let's go ahead and square 15. So 15 squared is 225. And we are going to multiply that number by 4. So now I have 900, 1/3 times pi times 900. So we're going to take that 900, multiply it by 1/3. So now I'm left with 300. So my volume is 300 pi centimeters cubed. Or our approximate, rounded to the nearest whole number this time, is 942. Well, it says 942.47. So this would round this up. We should probably round this to 943 centimeters cubed. All right, almost done. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a word problem. It says, what is the approximate volume of a cone with a height of 12 inches and a radius of 6 inches? So remember, if they do not give you a diagram, I encourage you to draw one. So we have got this awkward looking cone from Mrs. Vaughn, where our height is 12 inches and our radius is 6 inches. Following that same process, 1/3 pi r squared times h. Our radius is 6 squared. Our height is 12. 6 squared is 36 times 12 here. Ooh, Mrs. Vaughn needs her calculator for this one so we can keep moving. All right, volume equals 1/3 pi times 432. Remember, this last step of finding the cone is to multiply it by 1/3. So I'm taking 1/3 of that. So my exact volume is 144 times pi, and this would be inches cubed. My approximate volume, rounded to the nearest hundredth. I'm going to take that 144, multiply it by pi in my calculator, would be 452.4 inches cubed. All right, there we go. There's a real world example for you. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and solve this cone-shaped tenon. It has a radius of, these look like the same numbers to Mrs. Vaughn, so she's going to change this up just a bit. Let's do a radius of 8 and a height of, let's say 15. We're going to do 9 and 15. There we go. So we've got a radius of 9, a height of 15. Go ahead and solve. What is the approximate volume? We're going to start ourselves off with that formula. 1/3 pi r squared times h. We are going to plug in our radius of 9, our height of 15. There we go. Now we've got 81 times 15. 81 times 15 equals 1,215. But remember, we are looking for 1/3 of that. So I'm going to multiply that by 3. So my exact volume would be 405 pi feet cubed. But my approximate, using 3.14, would be, hang on, started writing the wrong digit here, 1,272.34 feet cubed. All right, guys, that is it for this lesson on volume of a cone. Make sure you check out the lesson tomorrow on a volume for a sphere, and I will hopefully see you all in class very soon. Goodbye.